It's a long way from Athens, but the local bourse jumped almost 2% in a big thumbs up to the crucial Greek election. I spoke to Ken Howard from RBS Morgans a little earlier. Well, Ken Howard, the Greek election clearly set the tone. Were there any other factors at play?
Yeah, look, the US market and some of the European markets are actually up 5% for the month to date. So Australia's really been lagging some of those global markets, and despite some strong leads over the last couple of weeks, we've drifted sideways. So perhaps the Greek election out of the way has been the tonic the Australian market needed to have quite a strong day today. We've still got quite a bit of catch-up to do. But I'd also highlight the French election. Certainly gives the new French president a bit of a mandate with his party winning both houses of parliament. So, you know, a bit of clarity on two fronts there and a bit of catch-up driving our market today.
All right, to a couple of stocks, and slightly confusing, toll road operator Transurban is taking write-downs on a US business. So why has the share price rallied?
Look, if I was looking for a reason for a stronger share price, that whole a defensive yield sector, which Transurban falls into, has been performing very strongly over the last 6 months. And part of their announcement today was reaffirming that 15% final distribution. So this is the third year running where Transurban has delivered over 9% distribution growth. So that's certainly something that investors are looking for at the moment. And that Pocahontas downgrade, it's only about 1% of the total assets on the Transurban balance sheet. So while disappointing, it's really there at the margin, with the key focus, I think, for investors being on distribution and distribution growth for the future.
Now, I see a $300 million plus takeover deal is brewing in the beer industry.
Yes, another step towards further consolidation of Australia's food and beverage sector. Obviously, with Foster's disappearing last year to Saab Miller, the Little Creatures line, the Rogers line, are now going to be owned by Kirin. Kirin, who owns Lion Nathan, who'd bought out National Foods, one of Australia's largest dairy co-ops. So ongoing consolidation of Australia's food industry and an acquisition that will fit very well into Lion Nathan's existing distribution.
Indeed. And just for going back to the market as a whole, what should investors be looking at in terms of strategy for the next few weeks?
Look, it's certainly very encouraging to see a positive day on the Australian share market, and I'd like to think that the next 4 or 5 days will see a repeat of today's performance, but still feeling very cautious, and that yield focused I mentioned with Transurban is certainly one of the investment strategies that's resonating with my clients. So I'm suggesting to clients, look, stick to those high yielding stocks, the big banks, the Telstras and the like, as the way to play this market, because as we saw today, it was a broad-based rally across the market with your financials up 2%, your resources up 2%. But at least there, if you're in the big banks, you've got some fairly attractive dividend yields that are 10, 11% pre-tax when you add in those franking credits.
And keep hoping. Ken Howard, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Tiki.